Restlessness, that's where you just can't sit still. Do you ever see people? I got to tell you the story. There's so many good stories. I was at this group of women, and they asked me to come speak to them. I do a lot of those. And there was a lady, we taught how to meditate. It was just a very simple, one method we'll learn in here. And there was this lady, she was sitting like this, and you see people whose their foot's going like this, right? And you don't think anything of it, no big deal. And we did this meditation, and I'm not exaggerating for effect at all. This is exactly what she did, because it was so profound, and the people around her noticed the same thing. We'd gotten finished, and we were just kind of getting back to sitting normally, and she went, "Oh my gosh, I have never sat like this, and my foot isn't moving." And the people around her went, "We haven't ever seen," because it's so obvious, right? I can't do it very well because my legs are too fat. But it was just funny to see. She was just startled. I can't believe because it's just one of those nervous twitches that's how the body is trying to do something about its stress by moving, which is part of the fight or flight response, which we'll get into. Your body wants to move when you're in the stress mode. And if you're sitting there, it's going to do things that'll try to help you out. And that's one of those. Isn't that interesting? So cool. Sickness, flu, and colds. So we talked about the immune system. Do you get sick a lot? Sore neck and back. How are you with that one? Stress eating. And we'll get into these a little more deeply. Today is just kind of see where we are. But we're going to explain why all of these happen so that we can make sense. Oh, here's why I eat when I'm stressed. Or here's why I can't eat when I'm stressed. Tense muscles. So if you push it on your shoulders right here and it hurts, that's just that's a muscle that is chronically tightened up. Okay? Ulcers, or anything close to that. That's usually a further down the road problem. Okay, now these last few. Just check if this applies to you. It takes me longer than 20 minutes to fall asleep. Check that if it applies to you. I awaken one or more times during an average night. Besides if you have a baby. That's why one of the reasons I was asking if any of you have babies, because I have a daughter who just had a baby last week. And the first 2 nights were fine. The next night, all night long. They came over to our house on Sunday, and they both looked like, we're not getting any sleep at all. That's the difference, staying up all night or being awakened, than the stress kind of waking up. If I awaken during the night, it takes me longer than a few minutes to fall back asleep. The next one, I experience insomnia 1 or more times during the average month. In other words, it's impossible for me to get to sleep no matter what I try. I experience nightmares or night terrors during a typical month. I think there's a relationship between nightmares and stress. Not one-to-one, but there's a relationship. I grind my teeth 1 or more times, so we did that already. When I awaken in the morning, I frequently feel hardly rested or exhausted. Does that make sense how I said that, how I worded that? I don't feel, it's like I'm not going to kick the day when I wake up. I'd rather just stay in bed. I take medications to help me fall asleep. We're going to spend probably 2 days talking about the problem, and the rest of the semester, the solution. But it's really funny when you recognize the problem, it solves half of it. and that sounds strange, but once you understand how stress really works, you'll immediately feel like you have some control over it. And that's what we're going to be doing Thursday and next Tuesday. Okay?